This is 9 News Local.
Good evening, I'm Jo Hall. The search for a missing swimmer on the Murray River has ended in tragedy. Police divers found the body of a 35-year-old man who drowned during a day on the water with a group of mates. Liz Gwynn reports.
It's a delicate and difficult operation, but once police divers arrived, they located the body of the 35-year-old man in around an hour. He was found submerged in water.
It was in the very near vicinity of where he was last seen, indicating probably that he went down, and he hasn't moved very far from that location at all.
With holidaymakers gone, the popular Thompsons Beach swimming spot was almost deserted, except for a handful of residents who had yesterday's drowning at the forefront of their mind.
It's terrible because I'm going to go now and have a beautiful day with my granddaughter in a spot where a poor fella's died the day before. It's tragic.
Police say the St Kilda man attempted to swim across the Murray River when he got into trouble.
He was with a group of about 15 other males at the time. The circumstances of what they were doing there will form part of the investigation.
The 35-year-old disappeared underwater, and despite the best efforts of his friends, he couldn't be saved.
The 3 other males actually made it to the other side. They've turned but couldn't get back in time to assist the 4th male before he went under the surface.
Yesterday's drowning follows a tragic start to the year in Victoria's waterways.
Just be aware of the conditions, assess where you're going, and just be aware of the risks associated with swimming in our waterways.
Although the crowds have gone, one thing remains the same. These signs scattered all along the river's edge, warning of the hidden dangers beneath the surface.
It'll happen in a heartbeat because you'll be floating along quite slowly, so it seems, and all of a sudden your feet will hit something, so you either panic, oh, something's in the water, or it's a log, and you go to push off or whatever, and the current is quicker underneath, it just drags you under.
Liz Gwynn, 9 News.
The hunt is on for a driver who killed 3 young emus in Gippsland. The animals were hit and left to die on a remote road at Golden Beach on Monday. Wildlife rescuers believe the birds were deliberately struck. Anyone with information is urged to contact Crime Stoppers. Federation University is proposing to turn its on-site student accommodation into quarantine hubs. It's eager to welcome back international students soon and says it can do so in a safe way. Eloise Wilkinson reports.
Nestled in amongst bushland in Ballarat, these Federation University dorms are ready to welcome back student residents from overseas.
We've got purpose-built accommodation which would work really well with highly trained personnel to be able to look after the students.
The university is putting its hand up to quarantine foreign students. It has the capacity to house 800 boarders across its Ballarat and Churchill campuses.
We've got lots of people who are right on top of this. We've got epidemiologists who are world leading.
And it's already safely managed positive cases in students during the first COVID outbreak last year.
We have very high levels of OH&S in terms of how we manage COVID situations.
Universities had hoped international students would return to Australian classrooms in time for the second semester this year. But both state and federal leaders are hesitant, already flagging the challenge of balancing bringing stranded Australians home and the financial benefits foreign students represent.
There will always be Australians wanting to come back, and so there will be opportunities for us to bring back international students slowly in small numbers.
The university says shutting out overseas students risks creating a $12.5 billion black hole in the national economy.
It shouldn't be underestimated how important international students are to the viability of the university sector.
It's eager to be involved in the planning process and get students back in class safely and soon.
We're here ready to work with government to achieve that outcome.
Eloise Wilkinson, 9 News.
Data has revealed Victoria's tourism sector suffered a $1 billion collapse in overnight domestic spending in October last year. As the industry looks towards its recovery, its leaders say the state can't rely on intrastate travel alone. Grace Evans explains.
Closing his doors to patrons last year was one of the hardest times in Finn Videlsby's hospitality career.
There was certainly no manual for that. It was an unknown, and it was terrifying.
Business picked up over the last month, but Mr Videlsby's bookings are now scarily empty. It comes as Tourism Australia data reveals the coronavirus damage in Victoria. Last October, a $1.24 billion loss was recorded for spending on overnight stays.
We cannot recover the industry on intrastate tourism. It simply will never happen. The reality is not all of those sectors are benefiting from intrastate tourism.
The risk of snap decisions on border closures and restrictions are making commitment to travel even more difficult, hitting businesses hard.
There's hundreds of thousands of staff who really need this sort of money to come through our state, and it's a long way until we get that back.
Pressure is also mounting on regional communities after the cancellation of major events that normally boost overnight stays and spending. But regional councils are remaining optimistic their incentives on the ground can entice tourists back to the bush.
It's not unexpected to see some variations on what we would normally expect, but our operators are really striving to create experiences.
Grace Evans, 9 News.
The Victorian Farmers Federation is calling for urgent upgrades to Victoria's freight network. It says more investment into roads and rail is required to cope with this season's grain harvest.
We've got to get more funding. I mean, we've been crying out for this for many years now. We've got to a pinch point where we've got to get some funding to fix the roads in our regional networks.
Almost 6 million tonnes of grain is expected to be transported on the state's roads and rail networks. Farmers in Western Victoria say they're losing more sheep due to an increased population of wild dogs in national parks. Residents near the Wiperfield National Park are calling for more to be done to control the population. Ezra Holt reports.
2,000 acres of land sits unused on Ashley Jackson's Patchawallock farm. He's not willing to put his animals at risk.
With a dog to come in and attack 10 sheep overnight, it's not worth it. The losses are too great.
Farmers say they've seen an increase in the number of wild dog attacks on livestock. They've chosen to remove their stock from high-risk areas near the Wiperfield National Park, and that decision is taking its toll.
I'd normally run around 600 lambs I'd buy in, so that can be a profit of up to 30 to 40 grand.
I estimate about 300 sheep. I've personally lost about 50 or 60.
Dimboola farmer Wayne Walker knows all too well the damage dogs can do, with 3 attacks in the last month.
So I'd carry the rifle with me all the time now, and if I see a dog around my sheep, well, that's it.
Farmers say they can defend against the predators with the use of poisoned liver baits, which work but are not effective enough. Farmers say there's only one trapper employed in the Wiperfield National Park area to control the population of wild dogs, and are calling for more to be done to manage the animals.
We've got a trapper there now, but he's overrun, he's covering too much of an area. So we'd like to see one there full time, be ahead of the problem.
In a statement, the Department of Environment, Land, Water and Planning said increased baiting would start in the Patchawallock area this week. Ezra Holt, 9 News.
A major clean-up is underway at Lake Epilogue to remove trash left behind by visitors on Australia Day. Cobb Murray Water has slammed the litter bugs.
It's very frustrating when we provide a free service for people to enjoy, and the majority of the people do the right thing. It's just the small minority that feel it's acceptable to leave that rubbish behind.
Authorities are urging anyone who witnesses people littering to report it to the EPA. Donations to the Australian Bushfire Appeal have been distributed to brigades, bolstering the country's firefighting arsenal. For several crews near the Victoria-New South Wales border, it means they no longer have to rely on farmers' dam water when tackling a blaze. Claire Sianta explains.
Gloomy skies and widespread rain. It's a welcome change from the sweltering heat which caused dam levels to drop on farming properties.
As far as that goes, and then keeping water supplies in order for the animals so they drink a huge amount, probably almost double.
Dam water is not only a to farmers, fire crews also heavily rely on it during an emergency, but it's becoming harder to find.
A lot of farms have been converted across over to grain cropping, and in the scope of that, local dams, etc. are often pushed out. So there's not a lot of surface water catchment.
But that's all about to change thanks to global support for Australia's firefighters.
That's it. Good night. Thank you. Please donate to Australia.
Global donations to the bushfire relief meant every RFS brigade received $10,000 each. Riverina brigades decided to join forces to buy a water tanker which they can take onto fire grounds.
The whole purpose behind the bulk water tanker is that it can go there and the trucks can just come to one central point. They don't have to move very far off the fire ground. They don't have to take water out of people's dams.
Terrific move in terms of strategy, As you can see behind me, the amount of water, it's a finite resource.
The Border RFS will spend their money elsewhere to bolster firefighting efforts.
Whether that be the purchase of radios to be used for tactical operations or some equipment that might make their job a little bit easier.
Claire Sienta, 9 News.
When 9 News Local returns, new data reveals the cost of extreme weather events on the Australian economy. How a small cafe went from being closed to an essential service for Indigenous elders. And the unique art trail turning hay bales into Aussie masterpieces.
Join David Janet and Renee Barge for the best Aussie holidays.
That was amazing.
Getaway, Thursday, 7:30 on 9.
Introducing Light and Easy's new Jumpstart Plus. Jumpstart Plus combines the proven weight loss results of intermittent eating with Light and Easy's delicious summer menu, plus a new app to track your success and help you achieve your goals.
I was really surprised with the results that I got with Light and Easy, and they do come quickly.
Every week I've consistently lost weight, and the new Jumpstart program really kick-started that for me.
Fast track your weight loss success in 2021 with Light and Easy's new Jumpstart Plus. Jump online today.
I won miniature Tim Tams at the supermarket.
Oh, I won real ones.
Who wants miniature prizes when you could win real ones? IGA's Shop Scratch Win is back. 1 in 5 chance to win instantly with every $30 spent. Over 1 million prizes to be won. While you're there, get Mars Fun Size Bags 12 to 18 pack varieties $2.50, half price. And Optimum Dry Dog Food 2.5 to 3 kilo varieties $13 each. Shop Scratch Win now at IGA.
Who's my podcast for?
Is for anyone wanting to make good choices in their career.
If you're into anything with an engine and wheels.
I want to give you the tools to achieve the happiness that you deserve.
It's like having an executive coach in your pocket.
I love sharing the stories behind the legends of racing.
Now's the time to listen.
Search Fast Track Podcast.
Search Rusty's Garage Podcast.
Search Crappy to Happy Podcast.
It's free on Podcast One Australia.
Podcast One.
Terrigen's Milo feed supplement actively reduces somatic cell count and increases vitality and appetite, and all results are verified by the University of Queensland. Learn how Milo can improve your profitability and herd health. Visit our website.
The new Ford Escape doesn't need a dramatic location. It doesn't need an expensive bike on the roof or a fancy lighting setup. It doesn't need a world-renowned music track, or a focus group approved family, or a cute dog, or even an expensive voiceover.
The new everyday effortless Ford Escape. No advertising trickery required.
All in one place. 9.com.au.
Victorians have endured tough weather conditions from floods, bushfires, droughts and heat waves. Now, new data has revealed these extreme weather events are costing the Australian economy $100 billion every year. Melissa Christidis explains.
Goodman's Garden Centre in Bairnsdale has battled through tough weather conditions.
We've been hit by the drought and then the bushfire 12 months ago and then the pandemic. So, yeah, it's sort of like boom, 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 boom.
The 125-year-old business saw a 70% decrease in customers when the 2019 bushfires hit. Droughts also took a huge financial toll.
All the stock, of course, is reliant on weather. Like through the drought, yeah, you probably would have lost a very good portion, 30-40% of the stock.
In Sarsfield, John Kinniburgh was hit by last summer's bushfires.
We lost our house, all of our shedding, all of our fencing, all of our infrastructure in the bushfires.
New data from the Climate Council has revealed the cost of climate-driven extreme weather events in Australia has doubled over the past decade.
Damages could rise to as much as $100 billion per year by 2038.
There's a massive cost in rebuilding and re-establishing your property.
From loss of agricultural activity, infrastructure damage, lost business revenue and property coastal erosion.
We will experience increasing temperatures, worsening extreme weather for at least a decade or two.
The economic impact of these extreme weather events doesn't just hit individuals or businesses. It can place huge financial costs on communities as they band together through these tough times.
The financial costs of the community and their goodwill has been quite substantial, but that's enabled us to rebuild and re-establish our property.
Melissa Christidis, 9 News.
Victoria's free TAFE program has seen a significant rise in the number of students enrolling in courses. Early childcare courses have seen a 300% increase since January 2019.
Yeah, well, we've seen a huge increase in the community services courses from the public and the students, and again, I think it's acknowledged with the growth in those areas and the employment outcomes. We've heard from a number of students about that if it wasn't for free TAFE, they wouldn't have been able to take up that study.
Certificates in mental health work and health services assistance are also now available. A Lakes Entrance business forced to close its doors due to the bushfires and pandemic has transformed itself into an essential service. The Bush Cafe is making hot meals for vulnerable people in the Indigenous community. Siobhan McKenna reports.
A hearty meal and a familiar face making all the difference.
The Aboriginal elders and the elders with disabilities are in the community. They've got no way of getting around. They can't get out, out of the house without cars, and there's no public transport close to their homes.
Bush Cafe closed its doors for most of 2020 after the bushfires and pandemic struck. But Kevin Murray decided his work in the kitchen wasn't done.
We teamed up with Kevin out at Bush Cafe out at Glawak to deliver frozen meals to our elders once a week, which helps them, just prevents them from having to go out into the community as much.
The team of volunteers feeds 186 elders a week, delivering more than 600 meals.
They're just saying they haven't tasted food like it, and we don't get food like this anywhere else, and we couldn't buy this in a supermarket.
The meals are delivered straight to elders' doorsteps every week.
Because you're in lockdown and I couldn't go anywhere, just having that face that you know from Leha come and see us, see, hey, you okay? That was good.
An important interaction that's kept the community's mind at ease. The service will continue until the end of February, but could start up again if there's demand.
I suppose then having the meals being able to be delivered to them, they got to catch up with us face to face and have a yak, and we got to then check in and see how they were going.
Siobhan McKenna, 9 News.
A unique outdoor art trail is connecting country towns in the state's west, featuring colourful sculptures made out of hay bales. Eloise Wilkinson again.
Modern art meets dairy farms in Simpson, Western Victoria. Made entirely of hay bales, this dairy cow and jar of Vegemite were created by farmers Henry and Kerry Veenstra.
Something that really typifies Australia is the Vegemite, and something that represents the Corangamite Shire is the cow.
The creative display was voted the favourite in the Corangamite Shire's Great Aussie Hay Bale Trail.
Only 2 bales high due to safety, and that had to be Australian.
Overcoming some artistic challenges, these dairy farmers became first-time artists and took out the top prize of $500 in vouchers.
I tried using normal paint, but that doesn't actually work with a paintbrush, and it was like had to use spray paint. It was good to see the final product and know that we were proud of it.
2 famous Aussie faces joining the Simpson artistic contingent.
Kids have come up here and they've gone, oh, I love them.
Fellow children's TV stars Bluey also making an appearance as communities from across the district created colourful Australian-themed displays, including a redback spider on a toilet seat, Melbourne tram and a koala. It's hoped visitors will follow the Hay Bale Trail and discover some of the smaller country towns in beautiful Western Victoria and share photos of their favourite sculptures online. Cheers!
And it was nice to be able to offer someone else some fun and to actually have other people drop by and enjoy our little bit of art.
Eloise Wilkinson, 9 News.
Ahead in 9 News Local, the Australian Volleyball Championships put on a show on the banks of the Murray River, and the young Heathcote driver making an early impression on the harness racing industry.
The superstars of tennis face off for a special one-day tennis event. The Adelaide Super Slam, Friday on 9.
Badass boss with the long to-do-list. I'm a badass boss with the long to-do-list. I'm a badass boss with the long to-do-list. So you better get on up and get right out of my way.
Did someone say KFC?
You get them out of bed, we'll help you with the uniforms. With brilliant basics, woven squats and shorts, just $8. Big W, every day's a big day.
Dollar Curtains and Blinds. Keep your home cooler this summer and enjoy a home protected from the sun, wind and rain. Save on your energy bills. Book your free measure and quote today. Dollar Curtains and Blinds. Value in every dollar.
Wake up to sleep at the extended 40 Winks Stocktake sale and save up to 50% off store-wide. Plus, get an extra 20% off remaining floor stock. But hurry, this extended Stocktake sale must end Sunday. 40 Winks, serious about sleep.
You prepare the school lunches, we'll protect them. With a Smash 8-pack lunchbox set, just $8. Big W, every day's a big day.
At Open Universities Australia, we know how important it is to make the right choice when it comes to university. So we'll help simplify the process, from which online course to which university. We'll help you compare and choose what's right for you, so you can see all your online study options clearly. Find the right study choice for you all in one place at Open Universities Australia. Explore online courses today at open.edu.au.
Best Sheds up to 40% cheaper with a 20-year warranty.
Best Sheds, best price guarantee. American barns from $6,900. Farm sheds $9,200. Industrial buildings $13,990.
Call Best Sheds 1-800 15 17 18.
You prepare them for learning, we'll help some of it stick. With Yoo-Hoo Super Mario Glue Sticks 40 grams, just $1.20 each. Big W, every day's a big day.
All in one place. 9.com.au.
Beach volleyball has graced the banks of the Murray River on the Victoria-New South Wales border as part of the Australian Championship Series. Claire Sianta caught up with 18-year-old Corbin Phillips in Cobram before he heads to the United States to chase his Olympic dreams.
I'm here with Corbin Phillips. Corbin, tell me a little bit about your sporting background.
I've been playing volleyball for 3 years now. Got into it with a few of my mates back in the day, and just been playing heaps of club and state and just playing heaps around.
You're at the AIS now. Tell me a little bit about how you got there and what that's like.
Yeah, I received an invitation to join the Australian Volleyball Academy last year, and I've been at the AIS for 2 years now, and just been training heaps on the facilities provided by the Australian Institute of Sport, and yeah, been really supported by the local council and all the great people involved there.
And I suppose what's coming up for you? You mentioned a pretty exciting journey coming up in the next couple of years.
Yeah, I just received a scholarship to go to the University of Jamestown in North Dakota, USA, so I'm pretty keen for that, see where it can take me, hopefully.
All right, 2 hitting errors this time coming.
And any particular goals that you're hoping to aspire to in the next couple of years?
Hopefully make the Olympic team, play with the big guys in the national team, and maybe play pro one day in a big club somewhere, so hopefully that'll be going pretty well.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for your time, Corbin.
A young Heathcote woman is making her mark in the harness racing scene. Just 2 years into the job, Isabel Quinlan reports.
Taylor French has driven the wheels off her sulky this season.
I'm over the moon at the moment, like it's only early days into the season. Our season changed this year, gone from the calendar year this year, so it's given me a very good upside and a bit of a kick to start this season off.
The 23-year-old is currently listed in the top 10 drivers in the state, a mammoth achievement for someone whose career started only 2 years ago.
So far ticked over 6 winners at the moment, which is obviously a PB for me, and you don't really expect them when you're going around on not so fast horses, but yeah, I'll take it as it comes.
Taylor says a huge part of her success is the connection she's built with the horses.
I feel like you've really got to know your horse. You have got to gain a connection with your horse. You can't really get on and expect something from your horse that it can't do or can't perform. So gaining a connection with your horse and knowing your horse before you hit the racetrack is really important.
She does a great job of sort of knowing the capabilities of the horses. She's always looks after them if she has to, but like can be aggressive with them if that's the right thing to do.
Taylor hopes to secure a spot in the state's top 10 drivers by locking down a win in tonight's race meet in Bendigo.
I'd definitely like to get a win on the board tonight. I don't go to any race meeting expect to get a winner. That's always good when you do get a winner.
Isabel Quinlan, 9 News.
Traralgon Sam McGregor is putting in the final preparations ahead of the Traralgon Australian Money Tournament on Friday. The 15-year-old is heading into the event in good form. He recently took home wins at tournaments in Shepparton and Geelong.
I'm feeling pretty confident about playing the Money Tournament. There's a few really good players, but I feel prepared and ready to take them on.
On Friday, Sam will be up against 65 of the best junior players from across Australia. Ballarat Rush has secured veteran Christy Rinaldi for the 2021 NBL 1 South season. Rinaldi says she is feeling fit after having a year off and is ready to take to the court once again. She's approaching a 300-game milestone.
I'd just like to play, one game, I guess. I think everyone's excited about that, but when the time comes for that, it'll be really exciting.
The season is set to start in April with the formal fixture yet to be released. When 9 News Local returns, the latest weather details.
One by one, the most memorable brides and grooms are back.
To aid regularity and support a healthy gut, use Metamucil daily. Its psyllium forms a gel in your digestive system to trap and remove waste and helps lower cholesterol. Join the Metamucil 2-week challenge now.
Audible is excellent for unwinding in bed with a cuppa.
Doesn't smell like a cup of tea.
Well, it's not tea. It's hard tea. What are you, the tea police? Download the Audible app and start listening today.
Friends raved great things about it. Now I understand why.
Another real review from a satisfied Aussie broadband customer. With thousands of 5-star reviews, all Australian support and an award-winning NBN network. You'll be telling your mates too. Aussie broadband. Can't beat feedback.
I know embers can spread bushfires as far as 30 kilometres, so you should leave early.
Authorised by the Victorian Government.
That was gnarly, bro.
Yeah, I got slammed.
Hey, check out the gun.
Old school boy.
You can't beat an original.
What about this then?
I didn't say you can't improve an original. Fully updated, got all the latest tech, cab price servicing, 5-year warranty. Bloody sea cucumbers.
Oi, careful! It's death on a stick out there!
I'm in.
Dude, that car is gnarly.
Every child is unique, so why do we expect them all to learn the same way? Cluey Learning, real-time, online school tutoring, personalised for every student. Get 20% off your first 2 sessions now.
Your local steel dealer is backed by over 90 years of German engineering excellence. So, charge up your summer with battery blowers and trimmers from only $1.99. And state-of-the-art battery mowers starting at only $3.99. From Australia's largest range of walk-behind battery mowers. Steel tools, only from Steel Dealers. There's 600 nationally. Find yours at steeldealers.com.au.
All in one place. 9.com.au.
Now time to catch up on the latest weather details.
Thank you, Joe. Good evening. Windy today and strong wind warnings were issued throughout parts of southern Victoria. Temperatures quite comfortable. We've had mostly clear skies, but we've got some cloud cover that is on its way. This little trough line here is just arcing around. It's going to dip down over central Victoria. So central eastern Victoria is going to be affected by cloud for most of the day. Western Victoria going to start out fine and sunny, then cloud increasing around the Wimmera and southwest. Right throughout the Mallee, it should largely remain fine and mostly sunny as we move into the afternoon. We may see some late showers develop around Swan Hill and further south towards the Wimmera. Most of the wet weather is going to be occurring throughout central Victoria, so we're going to see 1 to 6 millimetres. Bendigo topping out about 27 degrees. Generally, we're looking at the mid to high 20s. We've got the low 30s there right across the Mallee, and it is going to be quite mild. Not too bad a day. Great start, but then that weather is just going to shut down somewhat somewhat across the southwest. Now, central northeastern Victoria, this is where we're going to see the majority of the rain, but it is going to be quite cloudy. We've got a few more showers potentially rolling in across parts of east and south Gippsland. And again, it's going to be quite windy right throughout Mornington Peninsula down to Phillip Island. Melbourne topping out at 27, should remain mostly fine around the Bay Area. Have yourself a fantastic night. We've got a lot of rain on the way towards the weekend.
And that's 9 News Local for this Wednesday. I'm Jo Hall. Have a great evening.